Yo. This your guy, African Nat. I'm here. I got a special guest today. I got Dionte, Chili Wolf, Childress.
Yes, sir.
Did I say that right, Chili Wolf?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, he an amateur MMA fighter. He also an amateur wrestler. But he wrestled in college. So we're going to start from the beginning, man. Tell me about where you grew up at.
You already know, man. 216 Bread, man. I went to Warrensville Heights High School.
Okay.
Thoroughly from kindergarten to 12th grade. I'm thorough with the blue and gold. My uncle here graduated from Warrensville Heights in '95, right?
Yes, sir.
And he was on that state runner-up team.
We went to the playoffs, lost to Padua in the playoffs.
Y'all who don't know, that's Nolan. He off camera. And he been on the show like 2 times. So y'all, we hear boys, you gonna recognize him though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you say you went to Warrensville?
Oh yeah, blue and gold run through our family pretty deep.
We black and gold over here. So you know, shout out.
Nah, we the
real tigers.
We the stop.
We the real tigers, man.
Stop.
We got the eye this time. You know that. We the real tigers.
Hey, look, left eye, right eye. You know what I'm saying? Look.
We the real tigers.
Nah.
That's why we go back a long time, but you already know.
Nah, we don't know. You gonna have to prove that over here, bro.
Hey, we the real tigers, man. We don't prove it though.
Years over here and say, look, y'all got a tiger eye, we got a tiger eye. Y'all both like, nah.
Yeah, we just gonna have to
we can't share this 2 eyes on the same tiger.
Nah.
We still yellow, you know what I'm saying? Man, whatever.
No, we black and gold. Y'all blue and gold.
At least we look, man. We tigers. We both share a color. We gonna bring it in like that.
Just to give you all a little update, you know, we like rival schools, high schools, Cleveland Heights and Warrensville Heights, Tigers. We both Tigers. We the real Tigers, but you know, we rival schools, so that's what that was about right there.
It's all love. I'm just trying to bring the peace. But no, it's all love. We all here.
So
cool.
Chili, but where you get the name Chili? Well, I know. Let me hear where you got it from. I'm gonna tell you what I thought.
All right, bet. So Chili Wolf came from Chili. My last name's Childress. So, you know, I took Chili from Childress, and then Wolf. You know, like that's probably one of the deepest things about me, man. Like some people try to call themselves Wolf because it sounds cool, or they think they got something with the wolf. Nah, man, that's really like my spirit animal, man. Like from dreams, energies I felt just throughout the 25 years on this earth, man. Right. So, you know, being a wolf, you know, our ancestors with the Dogon tribes, being with the Sirius constellation, Sirius, Canis Major, Canis Minor, all canine energy. Right. So, you know, I've been rocking with the wolf since then.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So, yo, you started with your amateur MMA career. It started off with wrestling, right?
So, yeah.
So break that down to it.
I went from middle school, was my first year wrestling. 7th grade. I didn't wrestle my 8th grade year. And then all throughout high school. And crazy story, the first 2 years of high school were the trashiest seasons probably any Warrensville wrestler had to have. Like, I literally took 70+ losses in a row over 2 seasons before I got my first win. So freshman year, all losses. Sophomore year, all losses until postseason tournament sectionals. The last day of a 2-day tournament, you know, it was my first match of the day. If I would have lost that match, I would have, you know, been sitting there all day waiting. Would have been out the tournament, done, season over. Then one of my captains, you know, he spoke this quote to me. He said, "Pressure bust pipes and make diamonds." And this was his last year. And then one of my other captains, he was like a mentor at the time. It was his last year. And then boom, like after he told me that, I went out there and was just in the zone, just moving, like no doubt, no hesitation. And that was my first dub. Since then, my junior year was like 24-12. I took 5th or 6th at sectionals. And then my senior year was a solid year. I was 31-8. I believe I won the LELs that year. I didn't get to districts at all, like, which is crazy because going into that season, man, I worked crazy over the postseason. I'm like, all right, I know myself. I'm good with getting people to the mat, taking them down. Cool. We develop another area where, you know, keeping them down, scoring, exposing the back, getting some points. Now I'm like, all right, one of my, you know, troubles at the time was, you know, escapes, you know, and I'm like, all right, when it get clutch time, don't pick down. So I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna then get down there, wrestle the kid. I wrestled a total of 4 times that season. The first time he beat me, I was low key on some nervous stuff because he was swole. I was like, man, what the heck is this?
You probably looked them up and seen, because I wrestled in high school myself, so
Right.
you know, you want to wrestle somebody, you want to try to look up and see their record, see what they did.
You know what?
And
I didn't have a chance to do that stuff in high school for real.
Yeah.
I really didn't. Like we had like the bracket, and then the bracket showed the records, and then that's all it was. Like we didn't have any. For me at the time, like I really didn't have no interest to really, you know, like I'm seen on the mat, I do what I do in practice. It's gonna be what it is on the mat. Right. But outside of that, no, I didn't get a chance to do that.
Yeah, you know, you see them in different tournaments, and then like your coaches knowing about who they is, and you get to learning them, they get to learning you, and they place in state or in districts, you hear about it. You know
what they did? No, they did some things like that for sure. But like actually like looking up tape and things, I didn't.
No, we couldn't look up tape either. We
cool.
You know what I'm saying? Knew from being in tournaments and seeing them and knowing they won a certain tournament or whatnot. So and I also said that you wrestled for Tiffin University.
Right. Hell of an experience.
Before we get there, I want you to break down to people, because I wrestled in high school myself, so I know like the conditioning. The actual, you have to make weight each day. Like say you have a 2-day tournament. Each day of the tournament, they give you a pound, but you got to tell them how grueling that is with making weight. Like tell them that whole process. Break that down.
All right. So with making weight, I'm probably not the best person. Why? Because in high school, never had a problem making weight. Wasn't really a struggle for me. My diet was pretty cool. But at the end of the day, in order to make weight, stay consistent, healthy, to where cutting weight isn't grueling, your diet has to be great. Like I stopped eating beef and pork like my sophomore year of high school, because my first 2 years I was like 180 pounds, and I was like, then I lost like crazy amounts of pounds. I lost like 30 pounds in the whole season. Not because I was starving myself. It was just hard work in the room. Good diet, hard work, the fat gonna fall.
Facts.
So, throughout high school, like, they give us those little salads, whatever. I just throw the chicken off and just eat the straight. Kind of like the lettuce, just like you just gotta grind it out. You know what I'm saying? So, having a good diet, way more, dark green vegetables, no lettuce. I wish I would have known that in high school. Spinach, kale, arugula, dandelion leaves, turnip greens, or something like the biggest greens that you can get. Fundamental. Okay. Good. Help everything get, digested through. Heavy on your fruits, heavy on your water. If you eat meat, no fried meat, I'd say stick to fish, but you gotta really do balance everything out. Like no beef, no pork. I prefer, if I was to eat meat again, I'd have to hunt it myself. And then it'd be things like elk, bison, rabbit, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But because it's pure, it's not. Ain't got
what actually is bison? Like I ain't not to cut you off. What actually is bison though? Like,
bison is like
it's bison.
It's an animal called bison. Like don't laugh at me.
It's a bison.
Yeah, like bison and buffalo.
Like elk.
Okay.
Like elk,
okay.
It's its own individual animal. You know what I'm saying?
Like
pork, that's pig.
No, and they got vintage too.
Beef.
That's like deer called vintage.
So like deer, elk, moose in the same family. Okay. Bison, buffalo, same family. Okay. And then it's a healthier, like buffalo or bison to like replace your cows. So with deer.
You got deer,
It would be a waste.
It's a leaner meat, less grease. Like I eat, turkey is less grease. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I heard of bison, but that it was a couple of boxers. I'm a huge boxing fan.
Right.
Me and Nolan, we love sport. We argue all the time, but takes it back and forth. But it was, I don't know if it's bison, but it was a meat that had like an illegal, ingredient in there. That's what Tyson Fury claimed, and your boy Canelo, when they tested positive. But I don't know if it's bison, but it's some meat that got that ingredient in there. It's a hormone or something. It's some type of. It's illegal though.
I've never heard of it, but I wonder exactly what it is.
They could have been lying though, trying to, because they was juicing. But that's what they said.
For sure. Man, anything that's on these televisions can be a lie.
Yeah, they could just, they like to cheat. You know how Top Rank. Anyway, that's another story. But like, as far as like the wrestling conditioning, right? I met a guy. He was wrestling for Notre Dame College in Ohio, and they was ranked. They was like one of the bigger, I think D2 or D3 or something like that.
Exactly. Yep.
And while I was in the gym, he like, yeah, I got a tournament tomorrow. I got to make weight, and then I can't eat too much because I got to make weight for the next day of the tournament. If I make it to the next day.
See. Yeah. Okay. Bet. So like when you get 2-day tournaments, depending on like the situation, excuse me, you weigh in. Now for sectionals, you weigh in. At the end of the tournament, you can weigh out. So when you come in the next day, you don't have to weigh in. But some tournaments, like you come in, you weigh in, you compete. The day is done. You have to make that same weight, just to make sure everything is straight. You ain't, fighting 35 pounds of your weight class just to be, exaggerated in it. But when you going into 2-day tournaments or just your week, if you make sure your water intake is good, you're not eating late at night, and you disciplined on what you eat just thoroughly, sugar. Like
your body gonna flush how it's supposed to.
Exactly.
So you will be straight for your weight, as long as you not eating too late. That way, you know what I'm saying. The toxins and everything will come out like I was supposed to.
Right. Exactly. And like with me, my first 2 fights was at 155, and I was dropping from like.
And that's in college.
No, I wrestled 162. Or was it? I think that's weight class 162.
I saw 174 when I looked at it. And I'm like,
I did open the season. I did open the season that way. So like when you start off the season,
you look that big.
Nah, man, I used to be pretty heavy, but like they'll open up the season, they'll start it, they'll weigh you out, do like what body mass index, see like how much weight you can lose throughout the season, boom, and then next thing you know, I went from 74, weight just flux, boom, then started going 170, 165. So after that first year in Tiffin was crazy, man. Like, I learned a lot. Tiffin is actually a pretty solid school to wrestle for. They do have a good team, but the environment wasn't right for me. But you already know, man. There's melanated brothers that get kind of crazy sometimes. So I'm like,
especially in wrestling, when there ain't too many of us in that sport, especially on the collegiate level.
Did you see that? Did you see the team picture of me?
Yeah, I seen it.
Man, a black dot in a bowl of white paint, man. The only dark brother in there. Man. So I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a country school.
Out in the boom.
Yeah.
Out in the boom.
So I see you had some. All right, so we gonna go past college. We gonna go to, because I saw that from your whole stance and your MMA, when your MMA fight, I saw that it looked like you had martial art experience. Plus, I also saw you perform at the school, where I was.
Right. When
so
we did that, the sword katas, the brick breaks, and the board breaks. For sure. Yeah.
Tell us about your martial arts, or what part of martial arts was you?
So when I was young, and this was before you put me on to Zelma Georgia, got me boxing. My mom got me into a martial arts school. I was like, I had to be still in Eastwood or on my way to Randwood at the time. Yeah. So it was there, and I've always I was really good at emulating or replicating what I saw. So if I saw something on a video game that seemed simple enough for me to do, like Tekken, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You remember Hawal Ring and his kicks. I could emulate that stuff. Like I used to always, it became practical at some point. So then later down the line, I was middle school, high school, and my uncle, he got me into Zelma George and got me boxing there. So between traditional martial arts when I was younger, wrestling up through middle school and high school, boxing a little bit, and then a couple years in college from Tiffin. I even trained with a national champ and his brother. His brother's also a national champ at wrestling for Mount Union.
What was his name? Shout him out.
Big shout out to Jordan and Gerard James, man. They're my brothers, man. A lot of what Gerard showed me is who I trained with in Kent. I've been training in and out with for some time. A lot of what he told me and taught me about hand fighting actually translated and helped in like Wing Chun, parry blocking, controlling hands, controlling wrists. So I got to give him a big shout out there. traditional martial arts when I was younger, then into boxing and wrestling. Then after I got done wrestling, got back into Warrensville. Big shout out to Sensei Julius Harris. Man, this man,
he got a lot of knowledge about a lot of stuff, man.
Like a true teacher. Like some people can, like for me, there's a difference between a coach and a sensei. That's not the same thing. You know, a coach can teach you practical things about the art, or maybe their teaching method is very linear. A sensei's teaching methods can be applied in more than just, you know, the martial art.
Everyday life.
You see what I'm saying? And what this man done brought to my life really changed it. And his teachings really showed up when I started to go into MMA. And when I started to do MMA, I wanted to try this world tournament, you know, in Florida in 2019.
What's the name of it?
It was sports jiu-jitsu. Went down to Florida, got a gold medal in sports jiu-jitsu, which was like watered down MMA. It was very like traditional, but MMA.
And breakdown jiu-jitsu was more the grappling, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, straight grappling. And actually, they do have combat jiu-jitsu where you can slap people while you grappling. Like,
okay.
That's live. And that's like, it's funny. I seen this.
I think I saw that. It was a video on Facebook, and it was like two looked like there was sumo wrestlers. They was doing some. They slapped and then run. I don't know what that was, but it was like a fight, fighting. It was some type of.
But they can only do certain stuff though.
Yeah, they only slap each other. And, like, it was weird.
It probably was sports jiu-jitsu, not sports jiu-jitsu. It was definitely probably combat jiu-jitsu. People like you know, in regular jiu-jitsu you're working for your subs. You know what I'm saying? People like, you know, back out, posture up, start slapping. In regular jiu-jitsu you can't do that. So now in combat jiu-jitsu, what they want to do is incorporate the realistic circumstances you would get if you're doing jiu-jitsu in the street. Because somebody in the street gonna try to hit you some way, somehow. So it ain't gonna, like, you know, like, you can't throw no fists, but we gonna make it somewhat realistic. And it actually creates a catalyst for jiu-jitsu because people get comfortable in certain positions.
Right.
And if I slap you, like, I can just slap you, KO you, and I still win. Because at the end of the day, if I kill you, I walk away home to my family. I ain't gotta worry about nothing. If we talk about the most primal aspects, you know, how things go. But when I went down to, you know, to Florida to do the tournament, to go in sports jiu-jitsu, which is watered down MMA, it's nowhere near as intense. Then I got into regular jiu-jitsu. I took third, which was pretty crazy. And then as a team, you know, we had the U.S., we had Australia, we had Britain. I think it was one more. But as a team, the U.S. won that tournament too. So that was pretty dope, and that was a live little experience.
So we gotta go to your amateur MMA career. I don't know if you know, but you ranked 25th. I don't know if you know that.
You know what?
In Ohio, you ranked 25th in Ohio.
I was ranked 21 a while ago, and I think due to the fact that I've been inactive for some time after my last fight got canceled, my rank dropped. You know, now that COVID's kind of whatever's going on.
People adjusting to it.
Yeah, now people are getting more active. So fights is happening, and other people in my weight class are getting stuff done. And I'm like, you know what?
So you ranked 25th and only had 2 amateur fights. That's big, man. And you was like ranked 129 in the Midwest. That's like Iowa, Minnesota, Ohio. I think Chicago, Indiana.
Oh, that's gonna change.
Dakota, I think. Yeah,
well,
but that's good.
In the Midwest.
Yeah, that's like good for you to only have 2 fights. You know what I'm saying? You 2-0.
Respect. That's live.
You know what I mean? So that was I was like, man, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I was excited, man. And then I actually, when I watched your fight, I think your first fight was against Matt Price.
Right, Matt Price.
It was a knockout win. Talk us through that fight. Before we go to the fight, talk us through what you did to prepare for that fight.
All right, bet. So, the weight, like I said before, weight cut's not hard. I really only had to drop like 10 pounds. At the end of the day, we were focusing on just doing what I do naturally. You know what I'm saying? Doing like striking is good. So we just knew stay fundamental, keep my form under control, and just be me. You know, it's the first fight. Whatever happens. But at the end of the day, we want to get you in there, see where you at, learn something, get back to the drawing board. Outside of that, it was just instant Wu Wei. You know, Wu Wei is like the art of doing without doing, effortless effort. So like, you know, I'm just in that zone, and at the end of the day, I'm just like, you know what? Once I saw a dude was like shook coming off the cage, I'm like, oh, because I was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I done came off of a wrestling career where I took 70 plus L's in a row. I have nothing else to lose. If I was gonna quit, I would have quit after my freshman year of high school. Like I'm here now, so that type of nervousness is absent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in there. I'm in my zone. You know, I'm listening to my shamanic music. I'm getting my dance, you know, and I'm warming up. And I'm just like, this is it. This is a whole new chapter now.
So how did that feel with the crowd roaring? You know, you going out there,
man.
You ain't even look nervous though. I'm looking like you don't look nervous.
I done been through the fire already.
How did that feel though?
Like, the first thought I had, I was like, I really knocked somebody out for the first time in my life. I'm like, damn, that really feel good. I was power. Like I can put him up. They just knock him straight. Just like what? And when he fell, I'm like, all right, I'm a bit merciful. And my coach looked at me and he was like, immediately get on top of him. And I'm like,
exactly.
You see?
When you got him hurt, go for the kill.
Yeah.
Man, and I knocked him down. I thought he was gonna look. You right.
All right, then.
Look, I was like, when he dropped, I was like, oh, he limped. If he ain't getting up, then he ain't getting up. And he started to move, and I was like, all right, let me just hit him a couple more times. I already know the ref was gonna come in pretty soon after that, so I'm just like, all right, cool. But it was like experiencing my first wrestling match in reverse, like that. Like, man, like I went out there working hard and just got my ass whooped. The exact opposite, like this is what it feels like to win in a level, in a platform more dynamic than wrestling, because I've been wrestling for so long, the environment's different, but to be on even an amateur level, you know, builds a resume.
That energy,
to be pro, like,
that energy,
the crowd, boy, that's
that energy.
Man, it's not just in high school. Like this is
the energy is different.
Yeah,
totally different.
The energy is different.
You can feel the energy just watching it on TV, man. Every time I watch it, I get chills. I don't know why. Like it's just crazy, man.
And when you there, and that's just it's a different feeling. I know it was. Because I was there with you. You know what I'm saying?
One thing I noticed, like with your IQ in the ring, your awareness. When he was coming forward, he was throwing like wild punches.
Oh, yeah,
he was
just
all
a drop and shoot.
I see you change level. I was like, okay.
You know what?
You know what I mean? And it didn't take you long to adapt to what he was doing. You know what I mean?
Not at all. You know what? And I had a conversation. Actually, it was in the interview. Shout out to Shelly Shenanigans, really good friend of mine. She's doing her thing with her podcast.
Okay.
And she asked me the question, like, what makes you so different? You know, some people talk about like I'm good at striking, instinct. You know, instinct. Like when you get to a certain point in your psyche, in your mind, like fear turned into either you don't do or you do. So when that pressure came, it's like, all right, it's either I just back down and just keep letting them swarm, or I figure something out. And you know, in wrestling, you know, there's a little technique when people like reach up to try to grab you, just level change, go right under the arms and shoot. He standing straight up, elbows up top, like, all right, bet. He coming in, boom. Took him down, instantly went to my little, took the advantage side, pivot, then went for the rear naked. So I'm like,
yeah, you almost told him out. We ain't gonna tell too much of the fight. Y'all gotta check it out. What's the platform?
The platform
it's called Aries something.
Aries Combat is a gym that I currently fight out of, and I've fought out of for the last 2 fights.
Okay.
You can go on Facebook at Cage Thunder 10, Dionte Childress versus Matt Price. You can see my second fight also, Cage Thunder 11 at Dionte Childress versus Kmart Cooper.
Right. I ain't gonna tell y'all everything. Y'all gotta see that fight. That was a dope fight. I think. Let me ask you this: was that your hardest fight out of the 2 fights you had? Was that one your hardest one?
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh no, not at all. That one was.
The second one was hardest.
The second
one looked easy though. It looked like fairly easy.
You know what's crazy about the second fight? I have an accumulated 4 hours of sleep. I worked third shift that night. Then I was only able to take intermittent naps throughout the day. Had to run by like a mile and a half to finish the weight cut. Then, when I got down to the fight, I'm like, man, I just really need to hurry up, get this over with. Little to no sleep. Worked the whole shift the night before, and I'm like, I still like. It's not like I could turn around and be like, damn, I ain't getting no sleep. No, I had to make it happen.
Right. That was looking fair. Like you had your way. Really, you could have did whatever you wanted to do.
He actually fought pretty tough. Honestly, I mean, his grappling was trash.
Both of them. Dude ain't only could punch. Matt Price. He no disrespect to him and nothing, but he was just
right. No shade.
Yeah.
But I knew, like, it was way easier to read Kmart Cooper because we saw his first fight. He was a boxer. I think he's had some fights before. And he came out and just mauled his first opponent. And his first opponent just folded under the pressure. I'm like, oh, this is what he asked to bring, and this is who he fought. I'm like, no, you gotta. I'm different. I'm not about to just fold. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was gonna come out with that
aggressive, trying to swing.
And I was like, okay. And I'm already tired. Like I'm ready to hurry up and get this over with. So it's like it's either I can bob and weave and risk getting clipped or caught with a boxer. I'm like, no, let me just cover up,
and adjust to his punches and move
You
accordingly.
said you tired. That's that wrestling mentality. Like
you gotta keep it pushing, no matter what the case.
Keep your mouth closed, breathe through your nose. You can't let them know you tired. And I looking in from the outside, you ain't know that you was tired.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
that's that wrestling mentality.
Man, and you know what? And I tell my wrestlers the same thing. Like, it's kind of like when you in the wild, right? You got prey that has techniques to where if they do it, if the predator knew, you can still be eaten. Like peacocks. Predator comes, flailless feathers. That's form. That's posture. That's control. So I'm just flexing myself just to make myself look like I can't be eaten or I'm a threat to you. So if I'm tired, but I'm still in my form, my hands is up. You know what I'm saying? Just after a crazy scramble, I'm still in form, but I can be dead tired. You fool. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's where it was at. You know? So I just kept my form, kept the motion, and just pushed through all the chaos.
And Kmart Cooper, you defeated him with submission.
Yeah. Third round submission TKO because he went to sleep. Yeah. He didn't tap.
He went to sleep.
He went to sleep. His arm just went limp.
Yeah, I know. He was mad.
Mad.
He was mad through that whole fight.
He went to sleep. Like he was asleep.
He was mad because he tried to push you.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he tried to kick you. He was mad because you kept taking him down. He couldn't get his punches off.
What to do?
No, so he got in his feelings. So he took advantage of his feelings and his inability to defend the takedown.
Exactly. That was it. You know
Period. Yeah.
I kind of wish I would have, strike with him a little bit more, but
you didn't have to.
I didn't have
you
to.
Do what you're supposed to do to win.
Exactly.
And see how you adapted. Like I say, your ring awareness and your IQ was higher than both of those because you knew real talk. Like you knew what you had to do against both of those opponents. You fought two different fights. You know what I mean? So. And your grappling skills is off the chain, man.
Appreciate that too.
Off the chain, just off the chain. They couldn't do nothing with you, man. With that, like you almost had that dude choked out.
You know what? There was some positions in that not Matt Cooper. The Matt Price fight, like
that you could have finished him.
Now, you're right.
You know,
I could have. But here's the thing: it was my first fight. I know. If he move in the wrong position. And that's that dude on top, and I'm not doing what I need to do, it can get bad. So let me just let it go, stay in a dominant position and work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you kind of got to let something go to get something better.
Yeah.
Right.
So it worked out.
And you also a high school wrestling coach.
Talk about
that.
Back, bringing it back home, man.
This how I know you passionate, because you like one of the only ones I see every day in there. You know, I see Jay, but I see you all the time. Like, I don't know you even miss a day. You know what I mean?
I'm there 5 days a week. Coach Jay, he's there. When he comes in, he got some LLCs that he works with, some things that he does. But, honestly, he was very adamant that he had me with his coaching staff. Like, he's like, look, at the end of the day, if I'm going to do this, I need you here too. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can respect it. So
I seen somebody post you and Jelani demonstrating.
Oh yeah.
This girl I went to school with.
What year
She
did he
posted.
graduate?
I think Jelani came out. Might have been 96.
He a teacher, ain't? Is he the
97. Teacher? But he was just demonstrating. You and him was demonstrating or something like that.
Yeah, and he
on the mat.
Substitute teacher. He used to substitute me throughout, middle school and
short
stuff. Jelani.
Oh, Johnny Championship.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, he was.
He wrestled. He wrestled
and everything when he came through. I didn't even know he was a dog back then.
Yeah. He wrestled back when I around that time.
Shout out to him and shout out to Coach Jay.
Shout out
Coach Jay,
to
a personal trainer. I don't know his whole info, but I was shouted out. He a personal trainer. He was trained out of Warrensville, but you can catch him around Warrensville High School. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There. Shout out to him. Good dude.
Power Fit Beast Kids. He got his LLCs going, so shout out to him and the work that he do for sure.
So tell me, like, as far as training the kids, like, you seen passing your body, like, tell me about that experience.
The first 2 years I coached were really good. I had some kids that had some really good experience, and the first 2 years I was actually working with a group that I've been familiar with since I was wrestling in high school. I've seen them around because ever since I graduated, it's like I never left.
Right.
So, even coming from Tiffin, I'm coming back home, bringing what I learned from Tiffin, back to the high school.
Right.
And over like 2-3 years after I graduated, we had 2 state qualifiers. One of the state qualifiers I wrestled with was 2 years, Pierre Savage. And then the one that graduated a year after him, Anthony Scurry, he was in and out the room. He was in the 8th grade at the time I was coming out.
All right.
So I seen him. I rolled with him a few times, came back, taught him some things. I taught the whole team some things. And Cortez Bradley wrestled for Defiance right now. Shout out to him. But coaching them is like, it gives me a different perspective. And at the end of the day, I want to open up a dojo, and I told you that, So once everything gets situated, I done got some black belts. I done made a
you gotta stick to that MMA. I know it ain't my dream. You gotta stick. You got some skills, man.
You know what? I'm gonna take it as far as it go. And at the end of the day, outside of that, I really want to get in the film.
Yeah, but I want to thank you for being here with me, man. Could have been anywhere.
Oh yeah, man. This was dope.
This was dope, man. I asked you, came through for me. I appreciate it, man. Tell them where they can find you at, man.
All love. My Instagram is chillywolf.mma. CHILLY wolf.mma. Also, just got this LLC started up, Serious Herbs. You can follow me.
You got the CMOS?
I ain't got CMOS yet, man. I do take CMOS though.
Okay.
Man, get your CMOS in, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, CMOS do wonders, man. I ain't gonna promote it because it do wonders. Trust me.
Man, I take it every day.
Yeah, trust me. Get your
every
CMOS.
Capsule.
The jail.
Yeah.
Every
get
day,
your CMOS. You ain't want to go back. Trust me. It do wonders, man. So what's your LLC or Holistic Herbs?
Oh yeah, Serious Herbs and Holistic Remedies. Products is coming soon. I got teas. I'm working on not remedies, but recipes for teas that's coming out. I got anything between green tea, peppermint. I'm gonna work on if you want a custom blend. I can even do custom blends for you. Outside of that, you can follow me there. I think my Instagram is serious_herbs.
So when your next MMA fight before we get out of here?
Oh, we don't have anything scheduled yet right now.
Okay.
But I will be competing in a Fuji tournament, Fuji mats, Fuji grappling. It's a jiu-jitsu tournament, February 13th.
Where is it going to be held at?
I want to say North Ridgeville, but I'm not 100% sure. But February 13th, Fuji grappling.
Let me know. I'll come out there and check you out, man.
For sure.
Man, I definitely would do that. But thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? You helping me live my dream. You know what I'm saying? By coming on
hey,
here.
man, spread the love,
You
man.
know what I'm saying?
Spread the love.
Make sure y'all get y'all herbs from him. I'm gonna put the link for his fight. I'm gonna see if I can put it in the comment box for his fight. Dionte Childress. This your guy having connect. This Dionte Childress. This my man Nolan. Y'all know him.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? And we out. Peace out.
Peace.